Go live.
Go live.
Oh no. Hi guys. Paul.
Josh.
And Mike.
ManiacsMeat podcast right here, right now, doing a little bit of a John A. Russo's Midnight, 1982. Some say 81, some say 82. Midnight verse Midnight remake. What year's the remake from? 2020. Yep, 2020. Much like 2020, it was a shitty year, and this is 2020 on disc. So there you go. Anyway, try not to get too far ahead. Midnight. John A. Russo's Midnight. We've done it on the Maniacs Me podcast. We've done John A. Russo's special. One of my favorite films. I might be the biggest Midnight fan ever.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's one of those things.
Especially the three of us.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I love this film. Everything about it. Shot in Pennsylvania, Clarion, Blairville. And I was at Blairville, Bethel Park, and Clairton, Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania border bred. You can just tell as soon as the film starts. Some people debate that, but I can tell it anyway. So here we go. Midnight. You got the same kind of cast of characters as the original, except now all of a sudden there is a uncle that has been added into the mix, and a lot of trailer park trash apparently. So there we go. Same kind of concept as the original. It has a family of that just is happening. There's a family of devil worshippers in an extremely nice looking house.
Yeah.
Which was
middle class American devil.
Yeah, middle class American devil worshippers in the woods. Bloodlust. There's a well that really never comes into fruition. Did you notice that they played up this well the whole time, but never got anything?
Yeah, they spent a lot of money on the budget too towards that well.
Yeah,
when they did that whole
down into the well. So they went to Halloween Spirit and bought all the props. And there's this well, and they even showcase the well on the cover, and they really don't do anything too crazy with the well.
It's a homage to the.
This is by the way, this is a film by Gary Lee Vincent, so we can't keep on saying John Russo.
He did help.
John Russo did help. They used the screenplay. They used the original soundtrack from Midnight. But anyway, so there's a cannibal. There's a kind of Satanist family in the woods. Again, middle class America house for some reason. But basically trying to bring their mother back by feeding her blood, the whole deal, sacrificing women, the whole thing, but they're killing apparently a lot of people for no reason because the amount of blood they need. The uncle depends, apparently he needs a lot of blood too. A lot of things are happening. I'm trying to be. I'll just read this too. I'm sorry. I'm just so upset right now. I'm trying to.
This is our first watch.
This is the first watch. This is the fresh meat basically. We all just watched this for the very first time. Nancy, a teenage girl, runs away from home, hitchhiking to Virginia to stay with a friend. She is picked up by a couple on a camping trip. The trip turns deadly when the campers are attacked by a group of crazed Satanists hell-bent on resurrecting their dead mother. So there you go. Boom, bam, boom. We can do this. All right. First time watch. Josh, what do you think? Terrible.
Absolutely garbage. The only good part about this movie was parts of the original soundtrack.
Yeah.
Incorporated in it.
Yes.
Other than that, we had Stained.
Yeah.
The other parts of it.
Puddle of Mud. Yeah.
No, it was boring.
I don't think Puddle of Mud was actually.
No, it wasn't. No, it was
just this generic, generic Aaron Lewis goddamn garbage worth a piece of shit, like this fucking postmodern country rock fucking garbage. This fucking Chris Armstrong shit.
I really hated the green screen, and what's
with the green screen?
There was so annoying.
The big gripes for me.
I'm just going with Josh.
Yeah, sorry.
You're
first. No.
I think we all have the same gripes and the same. I don't think anybody's going to really say anything different.
And you're probably right.
But realistically, I mean, other than the original score and the cameo by John Russo, it sucked.
It sucked.
Yeah, there was a lot of use of CG where it was just totally unnecessary.
Isn't Gary Lee Vincent the cop?
Took it out.
The stepdad, the cop. Didn't we meet because he signed your shit? Isn't that Gary Lee Vincent?
You know, I was wondering because he did look familiar, but I
swear that
don't know
was.
if it was the same
Yeah.
guy or not. I
So, Michael, what do you think?
Again, sound like the soundtrack.
The original
from
soundtrack was fun. That was really fun.
Nice, and like it's always nice to me when they do a sequel or a remake and they do like wink and nod a little bit at the originals. It's like with Doctor Sleep when they open it up and it plays the Shining theme.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
You know, makes me happy. There was one or two camera shots that I thought were actually pretty decent. There was a little bit of cinematography that I thought was worth mentioning, but overall, just big waste of time.
Yeah.
Big waste of time.
Good, Paul.
I've seen worse movies, but it just big waste. It's a big waste.
Yeah, I've seen worse movies for sure.
You're holding back, man.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, you know, gotta be polite. It's still midnight for Paul.
Yeah, it's still midnight. I just wanted to kind of get the. Yeah, I want to get the things.
You're amongst friends. Go ahead.
This film was absolutely garbage. I hated every second of it. I'd rather find out my wife was cheating on me again than actually live through this film again. That's how bad it was. Like, I'd rather go to the suicidal put a shotgun in my mouth phase than ever watch this film again. John Russo, you're directing and everything. You're not allowed to make another film. You're allowed one garbage film, and this is it. You actually have to die before you can make
So
another.
if you do another one, make sure.
Yeah, it's either going to be fantastic, or I'll actually hunt you down, kill you. It's one of those things. Gary Lee Vincent, you're on fucking crack. Just like all the meth head actors that you got on this fucking thing, because apparently you got every single fucking actor in this fucking thing from a trailer park. You worthless fucking piece of shit. Like, oh, these big, thick-thighed, fucking neck-tattooed pieces of goddamn meth, liberal pieces of shit, garbage motherfucker living off the system, trailer park trash that you have in this fucking film are garbage. The whole thing sucks, and you piss me the fuck off, okay?
If you act in this film, you're watching this right now, it would still be cool to meet you and talk to you about the.
Fuck you. I'll beat you to death. I'll actually show you what it really looks like when you gut somebody in a fucking field. Because guess what? A whole bunch of clean entrails don't just fall out of a person. Obviously, you've never fucking hunted a day in your life because you're too fucking fat to get out in the woods and do anything for your fucking self. Live off the goddamn system, and you can't get anything from a goddamn fucking fast food place because you're a fucking worthless piece of shit.
So I agree with Paul. The acting was a bit weak.
Yeah, it was.
I feel like there was a lot of people that were in it.
I like the fact that the main one fuck killer, that tattooed worthless piece of shit, apparently his mother, either mom hugged him too much or his dad fucked him too much. He's about 4 fucking feet tall. You're about as threatening as a fucking rabbit with the word boo tattooed on his fucking forehead, you fucking asshole.
I feel like people didn't know how to make choices. They didn't know how to make acting choices. They just read the lines and tried to just play it off like they were all fucking cool.
Oh, let's see. Let's do a casting call. Anyone who doesn't have a job in anything actually worth actually doing in their life, come here and make this shitty ass film for no money.
Well, you know what's funny to me is usually even in like shittier horror films.
I love the fact that the website is www.midnight.rocks. Fuck you.
Even
just fuck you.
Films. And the one of the things I found surprising about this is even in shittier films, there's usually 1 or 2 actors that I'm like, they did a good job and like they carried it.
Yeah.
There was nobody in the set.
I mean, the fucking I like the fact that everyone needs to find a treadmill in this film. And the one main bitch, which the original Robin Welsh, I think her name was, the original Cynthia, was so fucking hot and cool in that film, and she didn't do a lot, and she wasn't overacting. But this fucking Cynthia, like, she's almost that like ugly hot, but doesn't quite get there. Like, she's trying to pull the craft thing off and just never reaches it. Even the bitch from the craft, I want to fucking hit with a fucking sledgehammer until she does.
One of the things that made this one so good, and like most older horror films, is the grain and the grit to it.
The grain, the guerrilla filming, the grain, the rawness, the realness, the fact that it was shot and filmed and focused around Pennsylvania, and this one is
people from now.
Like,
Yeah,
but it's one of those things. John Ray Russo, Night of the Living Dead, Pennsylvania, put Pennsylvania on the map, focused everything around Pennsylvania, Lewisburg, the whole fucking Lawrence Tierney, one of the greatest fucking actors in the world on this. And you have this fat, worthless, fuck you, Gary, this fucking fat, worthless alcoholic that you're on a speakerphone call with your friend and your fucking drunk stepdad is in the other room and you just acting like a surprise, like nothing's going on. Shitty writing, shitty directing, and fuck you. What? I have the whole screenplay in a book, on a book form. I just want to go home and burn it now. Fuck you.
This is your copy.
Fuck you. You were doing something with that. I gave it back to you.
No, what I was getting at was one of the big issues with that is they filmed it on like digital, like new media stuff.
What is with the green screen?
And it's too clean. It looks too clean.
CGI blood. CGI blood. Every blood in this is CGI except for the bit that spills on the trailer park mom's trips.
Unnecessary CG. There's a whole green screen with all the basement stuff.
Just do it in the basement.
Like, just find somebody, dude.
It's Pennsylvania. It's not hard to find a crappy basement.
Like a cellar, like even in like refinished cellars, even my friends that have totally remodeled cellars, there's still one section of it that's like a shitty old like coal storage area.
What in the
that
fuck?
you could just film?
And then she goes fucking Super Saiyan and starts doing fireballs.
Was that filmed in Pennsylvania or was that filmed in West Virginia?
No, this is all fucking. This is non-Pennsylvania. Nothing about this is Pennsylvania. This is the things like the film.
It's more like John Denver's home turf than.
Yeah, I wish this would crash into a fucking mountain.
It's West Virginia.
Yeah,
like
the town.
I understand. John Russo lived in West Virginia for a while, but he's back in the home state, Commonwealth. He's back where he belongs. Maybe he can do one more fucking film. You know, do you ever notice John Russo moves to West Virginia, his films suck. George A. Romero moves out of Pennsylvania, his films suck.
They got that PA juice. It just
the juice in PA makes good films because as soon as the Pennsylvania quality. Yes, but as soon as John A. Russo moves out of Pennsylvania, as soon as George A. Romero moves out of Pennsylvania, all their films are fucking garbage.
Signs was filmed in Pennsylvania.
Signs, one of the greatest films ever made.
But I like Signs.
He likes Signs. Everywhere the signs. Blocks up the scenery.
I'm thinking of my movie. Do this, don't do that. Can't you read the signs?
It's funny because there were parts in the town that were filmed, and I was looking at it, and I even said it when we were watching before I knew this was filmed in West Virginia. I'm like, that looks more like West Virginia than it does Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm.
And there's just little weird nuanced things that you can pick up on. Then you're like, that's not. How much is it?
This is crush it like Quint.
Crush it like Quint.
This is great.
See, look.
Oh, is this really?
Yeah.
Narragansett.
Narragansett. Crush it like Quint.
Oh my god, this is gold.
Yeah, it is. It's made from 1890.
So the remake Midnight, not
good. It lives longer. Yeah.
Not good.
Not good. Not good. This is not good.
So number 1 to 10.
No, we're not done yet.
Okay.
This motherfuckers. I'll tell you what. Nothing about this makes sense. The original Midnight flowed, made sense, gave you a little bit of time to like the characters, get into the characters. Why the fuck did they have to make Hank a fucking female? I don't understand. The greatest little nod and wink about the original Midnight, it was two guys, and obviously Black Hank wanted White Tom's cock, and never got a chance to say that, but it was implied, and it was the greatest little inside joke. Here, they actually go, "What's Vanessa Kitty? Hello, Vanessa Kitty. How you doing?" Here, they make it a girl, and then they try to fuck him, but it's just okay. In the original Midnight, if you haven't watched it, they kill the cops. They dress like cops, and then they go over to the campers, and then they fuck with the campers, dressed like policemen. So you think they're policemen. That's the whole point. They walk over right when near bone time happens, blow the girl right in the head, walk up half dressed like the one guy half has a cop outfit, and then tries to pretend to be a cop. I'm like, what are you fucking doing? Are you all on crack? Apparently, he paid these out of work fucking trailer park fucking worthless welfare pieces of shit cocaine and fucking welfare stamps to make this fucking film. I just cannot understand it.
I'm sorry, there was no cocaine involved.
That's all meth.
That's meth.
That's meth.
It's
80s was cocaine.
it's Methwick. I just can't get it.
This is cocaine.
I don't understand. How
That's
can you
meth.
take something? How can you take something that is like the original Midnight has holes where you can put supernatural plots into those holes. So all you would need to do is literally remake Midnight and put the supernatural holes, fill the supernatural holes up with those aspects.
Yeah.
This, they just went completely apeshit wild and said, we don't care what you do, just do something, and we'll film it, and we'll put it, and we'll make something out of it. It doesn't matter. I just
think I really felt I had no
and
formal training, and not even
and you can
on
tell
the
every
job
single
training.
one of these is the first time they ever did it.
Yeah, I mean, like, one of the big things is, you got to make choices as an actor.
I don't know.
Really felt like a lot of these people were just reading the script and just trying to play it like they were cool or badass. Like there were no in-depth character choices in it at all. And
This fucking tattooed retard right here. It's like you could tell, like back in when he lived in the burnt down trailer with his fucking family, that basically he took a shit and he drew like hearts and fucking animals on the wall, and his parents took pictures of it and hang it on the fucking fridge and said, "Look what he did. He's an artist. He's a really good guy. Look at him. He'll be something in the world." Fuck you. All right, you're a fucking retard.
There was
Can't do it.
as I really thought. It did have that guy that was Discount Tom Savini that played the uncle that really looked like a really shitty thin version of Tom Savini.
Left out cancer patient.
Yeah,
that's why I would order Tom Savini from Wish.
Yeah, exactly. That's your Wish version of Tom Savini.
And then you get the stupid
fucking
jump
sex
scare with the
machine,
mom.
Dust Till Dawn out there.
Here's the deal. They're trying to
22 singles
in the original Midnight. These people were Satanists that were sacrificing people to the devil to feed their mom's blood to keep her alive. Kind of like, by the way, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That's where they got this all from. But obviously, it was in their heads. You know what I mean? And obviously, Lawrence Turney comes and actually fixes the day by saving the daughter, the whole deal. It's actually real. She turns into the worst CGI devil that you'd ever see. Like, I'm talking, like, Van Helsing, the horrible CGI in Van Helsing looks like blockbuster amazeballs, because compared to this. Right. Kimmy Del Rey says, "Sup, boys?"
Hey, Kimmy.
And her meaningless, worthless fucking praise on the ground ends up making her this angelic force field against this demon. It goes and goes, and there's no build, there's nothing.
Like, it's like implied to be any like she's trying to repent for sins, like she wants to be.
Yeah. Look, I did ass to mouth with my boyfriend, and now I'm sorry for it because it tasted kind of like shit.
A fucking cage for like a good hunk of the movie, and then all of a sudden, like, she prays and it stops it, and then it kills the demon. It just
doesn't make any fucking sense. It's the worthless, weakest ending. Like, obviously, like you haven't been a big wrestling fan.
And then they tried to make
watching actually storylines and finishings, like actually understand how a plot forms and actually has a big exploding ending where people pop.
They tried to make room for Midnight 2, and I was just like,
I have Midnight 2, the original Midnight 2,
the thing comes out,
but in fact, that the original Midnight 2 was made for less than $10,000. It was actually pretty cool because it was actually shot in
I wish I knew the budget for this.
Apparently, it's either too much or not enough.
Yeah, well, like I said, I think they got a bigger budget than they were expecting to make this film, and then they couldn't. They didn't know what to do with the money. They were like, they didn't have enough to hire actual like special effects people like they should have. But they still had the budget, and they're like, "Well, we should spend it anyhow." So they're like, make that fucking green screen, or like, do this.
Well, I can tell you what, Midnight 2 isn't filmed. The Midnight remake isn't filmed in Pennsylvania, but it is Pennsylvania. We have way too much money. What should we do? Give it to handout people in the fucking cities that don't deserve it, and let's rebuild a bridge that's perfectly fine. Let's actually not put it where it needs to be.
Just like, look, use practical effects. Harbinger Down came out 3 years ago. 3-ish years ago, all practical effects, modern movie to show that you can still make a good movie with nothing but practical effects. Fucking awesome. You can still do.
Okay, let's look at this as overall. Let's get rid of the uncle. That automatically saves acting time. Automatically saves money. Get rid of the uncle. He doesn't even need to be there.
Recast the stepdad. We're gonna go that route.
Get rid of the uncle.
Recast everybody.
You know what? In bars, by the way, Gary Lee Vincent, women just don't dance on tables unless it's a strip club.
I was a
Because
bartender for years. You're on the table. Either get down or get out.
either get down or get out, you fucking retard.
Or both.
Or
Yeah.
both.
Get down.
This shows that you really don't have social skills. Okay, so right now,
Unless you work there and
recast the dad. Get the fuck out of that bar because you don't need to be either. If you're a drunk, you're gonna be doing a little flask action or bottle action in your car while you're looking for your stepdad. You're not gonna try to bone someone like a piece of shit. Okay, so get rid of him. Get out of the bar right there. So that saves money. Use practical blood every time there's blood, which is automatically same. Yeah.
Caro syrup goes a long way, man.
Shoot in real locations, which is cheaper.
Yeah.
And then don't use CGI demon bullshit. Actually have her. You can have her shooting fucking dildos out of her hands or whatever you want her to do, but have the bitch come up from behind her and slit her fucking throat.
Higher practical effects.
Practical effects. Something simple and stupid.
Like, look,
Have the fucking dad try to shoot the bitch, and while he's doing a really bad job doing it because he's getting fucking fucking hepatitis infused dildos shot at her the whole time from this trailer park bitch.
At this point,
have the other girl come up behind her with a crucifix or whatever, stab her in the back of the fucking head. It's not hard.
At this point, look, it's not the last Starfighter days. It's not like you can do shitty CG and people accept it.
And they're okay with it. It's not laser blast.
Yeah, exactly. Like we're not going back to like the 80s and early 90s when like CG was new. And you saw it and you're like, this is still awesome. Like I always go back to the last Starfighter. It's the first film that I can think of that used any kind of computer like CG imagery. Mm-hmm. And it was terrible, but it was awesome because it was the first time you saw it and it fit the feel of the movie and everything.
Yeah.
You can't have shitty CG in movies anymore. Well, you can't.
Plus, the other thing I want to say is, because every other bitch in this is a thick thigh trailer park slut. So that's fine. The brother sister thing is, the sister is a fucking craft reject, so she has a vagina, so we understand her. The tattooed dwarf is the tattooed dwarf, so we understand him. The other brothers are they have no character development, they have no charisma, they have no acting ability, they don't stand out. In the original Midnight, every brother was individual. Every sibling was individual. Everyone stood out. Everyone had their own thing. They looked differently. Yeah. You know what I mean? And just like, oh, this one's bald, so then that one has hair. So all
it came down to was like the guy with all the tattoos and then everybody else.
Yeah, exactly. Here's the guy with the tattoos. Here's the stupid bitch that was a reject from the crap. Here's the fat cop, and we'll just work around it.
Yeah.
Because honestly, they could have interchanged this Nancy. They could have, I swear to God, they could have put a different actress for Nancy every other fucking second and no one would have noticed. Any long half fucking fake blonde hair, whatever, and they could have literally interjected.
The movie does not hold your attention.
Yes.
Does not hold your attention.
Do I like short, dark-haired, thick-thighed women? Yes. Do I want them as every single woman in a film? No. Because you want individual people. You know what I mean? Like,
well, and when you don't make acting choices and you don't have a script that's very diverse, everything just blends together.
Yeah.
Unless you have people that are standing out.
We were watching the film, and the one guy, they pull the priest. I mean, I'm sorry, the black priest in the original film is the whole thing he's in. He's a completely racist bastard because anyone who's not black he doesn't like, which is another thing where you're like, oh wow, look at that. Like, it just shows you like different structures and demographics and mindsets of people. You know what I mean? So it was something that you could read into, which was really cool. And he was a good actor. Here, it's just a regular white guy. I swear he looks familiar, but I can't really place him without actually, looking.
He looks like the preacher from Hot Fuzz. Remember the guy?
Yeah. But no, he actually looks like a Shriner or his brother or something like that. But he's waving to stop, and then there's another film where they go and stop and get out of the car, and he's still waving. Like, they're already stopped, man. And then you get out, and his daughter, the preacher's daughter, has tattoos all over her fucking neck.
Yeah.
And all over, like,
the I love life tattoo?
Yeah. Did you literally go to your local tattoo shop and see all the fucking tattoo rats that try to just fuck the tattoo artists for free tattoos and just be like, oh, I'll take you. Do you have any other methed out friends? I'll take them too. We'll make a movie. He has tattoos on his neck because I mean, he sucked my dick for meth before, but it's all right. You know what I mean? Yeah, I still need to pay him.
Like $20, $20.
$20 is $20, but like, I mean, he'll vouch for me because that's what it looks like.
That's actually what I said while watching it.
Yeah.
I go, these all look like girls that used to come in the tattoo shop I worked at.
And just this hang around for free sex, drugs, and tattoos.
Yeah.
Yep. Fuck you. Fuck this.
So
This whole podcast went way too far for a movie we hate.
so ratings.
I'll give it a 1.
I'm giving it a 1 across the board. I think
1. Fuck you.
I think that's you being generous.
I will never watch this again, and I will actually purposely. I own the screenplay book, but I will never buy it.
Your ratings, horror fan versus
One.
I can't, because realistically, like it lost interest. It didn't have enough to draw you in. I think even a bandwagon horror fan would still not even enjoy this.
Here's my ratings.
You know what's sad is we did
10, 1, 10, 1. 10, 1,
we
10,
did
1, 10, 1.
Necrophiles that literally had a $20 budget and it killed it compared to this.
The Necrophiles is fantastic.
But like like that was babies on strings.
It was literally babies on strings flying around. It was just fucking fantastic. Yeah.
That says a lot.
I go 1 for everybody, 2 for horror fans, just because you'd be like, I saw the remake of Midnight.
This is a fucking. This is a girl that sleeps with everyone, is cracked out half the time, but has a brand new SUV with a baby on board sticker on the back of it. You know what I mean?
I would like to bring up.
It looks like it's.
I would like to bring up the fact.
It looks like it's functional,
they did,
but it's a complete pile of trash.
They did keep some of the corner notes of the original Midnight. They kept the scenes in. I would like to bring up again how ridiculous it was that the people that robbed the store are driving around in a brand
new car,
fucking new.
The whole point,
SUV.
The point of Hank and fucking Tom in the original was they had a shitty van. They didn't have any money back then. Gas was the 80s, gas rationing. Nobody had any fucking money. Average income was like $2 an hour. You know what I mean? That's the whole point of this. Not where I have an IT degree and I work in tech and I make $28 an hour, but I gotta steal groceries because I like to live on the edge.
If you have a car like that, you are not.
If you have to steal groceries, you don't have a girlfriend.
And then the black Ford Escape that chased them.
I just don't get it. Let's go. And then she sees the body and she just stands there. I mean, you understand how that works.
Yeah. The cops.
And the overcomplicated tracking devices that the cop has is completely non-realistic. My family works in law enforcement in many different aspects. That doesn't actually exist.
The bullshit, they're like NCIC, that's not how NCIC
That's not how that even closely works. I mean, do your research for a little bit. I mean, at least, because I don't know. He had this grand scheme, and you know what? You fucked up.
It
was garbage. Just call it.
Work within your time, work within your budget, work within logic and reason.
It's disappointing. It's disappointing on the same level in ways that Fog versus Fog remake was.
Yeah.
Things like that. Like you go into it and you're like, great, like this awesome movie just updated and cleaned up. It's gonna be banging. Like I understand the script might not be exactly the same, but it's gonna be pretty close. It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
And then they just fucking drive it into the ground.
Oh my god.
And that happens with so many remakes.
I understand there's a lot of people who won't even like the original Midnight.
Yeah, absolutely. I get that. It's not even one of my favorite movies, but I appreciate it.
Yeah. This is just why would you dig up your favorite grandfather, fuck his corpse and shoot him in the fucking face? Why would you do that? Why would you take the time to do that? You took the time to ruin something. I don't understand it.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, this has been Paul
and Josh
and Mike.
I don't even know what we're doing here.
ManiacsMeat.
Is anyone watching?
No. I think all the fat trailer park methed out, thick-thighed bitch comments scared everyone away. Again, I love dumpster fires.
Sure, we'll get 30 or 40 views on the.
I mean, I don't even like it, but because I've been with so many, I am overly drawn to short, dark-haired, trauma-infested, tattoo-ridden, thick-thighed dumpster fires. That's my kind of girl. So I mean, I completely agree. I completely like looking at the girls in this, but they shouldn't be in this film.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And but here's the thing: is even the victims. This is the point I'm trying to make. Is look, it looks exactly like Christina, doesn't it? Does that not look like Christina?
Is she watching?
Does that look like fucking my ex-wife?
Paul, is she watching?
No, of course not. Doesn't that look like
she's a bit thinner?
Yeah, she's Christina.
That's right. She's thin
Oh no, that's right. Because
and prettier.
yeah, she is, and she hasn't cheated on me yet. My thing is, it's so funny.
Hey, plug it.
It's so funny.
Set him up and not.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's just even the victims, they don't stand out from each other.
No.
They look exactly.
No,
The one victim,
nobody in this film-
there was again a thicker woman, more on the thicker side, which is fine. She was blonde. She was long
Nobody
blonde
stood
hair.
up for good reasons.
She was blonde. You know what I mean? And I was like, good, because when this woman gets into the mix, she'll stand out. You know what I mean? Because she was very, very blonde. Like, good. And then he just rips her tongue out and like dry fucks her, and then she does. And I'm like, well, what the?
That guy's not gonna be mad if the person dies when he's fucking her the way that guy was.
Yeah, exactly. And so the thing is, like, okay, wait, damn it, because I wanted.
It's all look.
I wish this film would be a lot better if there was individuality between every single character.
Shitty film. That's it. If you want to, if you just want to be able to say you got to watch a sequel to Midnight, go for it. Otherwise, just fucking steer clear.
Yeah, I'd steer clear.
That's really what comes down.
I mean, honestly,
Not good.
how available do you think this film's gonna be?
Nah.
I looked it up on YouTube. I was surprised it wasn't there already.
The only reason I even got it was because we were just happened to be there.
And I love John Russo. I love John Russo.
Was a fucking great guy.
I love
really
John
nice.
Russo.
He was very fair.
Never make a film again, okay?
Nay.
No.
Unless you're gonna make.
Your Uncle John is a zombie was almost that bad, but it had some funny redeemable parts. But this all the way down.
Make Return of the Living Dead Part 7.
No.
There you go. Yeah. No, with cell phones. And by the way, stop putting cell phones in movies because it just pisses me off every time I hear a cell phone.
It kills the vibe.
It does. It really does.
Just want a good reason why the cell phone doesn't work anymore. Like,
yeah,
watch shit.
It
doesn't seem contrived.
And if you're gonna use a cell phone, don't put the generic cell phone ring because it gives me an.
Don't use the Nokia ring. All I think about is that fucking show on Comedy Central. The guy was like, "Hello!"
You know what? It literally gives me a panic.
Trigger Happy TV.
Trigger Happy TV.
Oh, okay. Oh, shout out.
That's all I ever think about.
Yeah. It literally gives me.
I'm in the cinema.
Okay. But anyway, we're gonna go now.
Bye.
Bye. See you later.
Harsh.